to Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi, a podcast that showcases people you may not know who are choosing to use their gifts to inspire and move the planet.
I'm sorry, I love music.
All right, so welcome to Straight Out of Savannah, talking with Tammi and my guest Mario Hendley tonight. He is an amazing young man with an incredible story, and I'm going to allow him to introduce himself right now.
Hi, I'm Mario Hendley. I'm originally from South Carolina. I'm currently in New Jersey. I don't know how I end up here. And I've been knowing Tammi now for so long. I don't know how long, so I'm not going to go that far back. But I met her through a friend named Catherine Sparks, both work in the medical field. And I learned from these friends to come to find out that we all became friends for a reason, the three of us, because we had one thing, several things in common, but one thing in common, and that is the unknown, intuitive, energy, awareness, vibration. Some people call it psychic ability. We have that ability. And so every time we would get on the phone, of course, Tammi, we would always talk about it.
Yeah.
And you would tell me about your experience, and then I would tell you about my experience.
Yes.
And so that's how the three of us had to start, because I wanted to start the introduction also talking about how we're all connected, but the three of us are connected before I start talking about myself, and I couldn't go on with the introduction without including Tammi and Catherine Sparks. And so we always exchange information about what we learned. We'll get on the phone and be like, hey, Tammi, I learned about this today. And then to come to find out she knows about it. She knows about it already.
Yes.
And so even to this day, I'm still learning from Tammi about what she's doing in whether it's in Arizona or the state of Washington. And I tell her what the metaphysical community, what's popping up here in New Jersey.
So how does it help you in your everyday life? That is the one thing I wanted to just talk about just for a second. How do those gifts help you in your everyday life?
It makes me more stronger, less fearful. And I'm not, for anybody that's watching our platform for tonight, I just want to let y'all know, don't get offended, because we're all into the church and we're not knocking the church. But I'm just saying from my experience, when I was always tied into religion, I was always a fearful person, always. And it made me paranoid most of the time. But when I got into metaphysics and started experiencing, I guess you could say, the unknown, which most people are taught to be afraid of,
yes,
it made me more stronger, more confident, and it taught me how to be aware of the environment around me.
yes,
And which is not scary at all, because it kind of allow you to be a better, what should I say, like a decision maker.
yes,
Because we react from our physical senses every day when we see, feel, and touch things, and also taste things. And it's the same thing with our spiritual senses. We feel things, we hear sometimes that inner thought, and we also visually see a lot of times, whether we projecting it or something higher is projecting that towards us. And when we listen or see clearly or feel clearly what these messages mean to us and the information that's coming to us, it can guide us a long step ahead, a long step away. I hope I'm saying that right. To the best direction that is destined for us, where the other route or the other way around, would have left us going around in circles, which most of us don't want to go, where you following your guidance,
Mm-hmm.
you are not going around the circle. It's just very direct. And that's what that inner voice sounds like. It's very direct. And most people don't realize that they have it. It's the most common, natural abilities to have, but most people wouldn't know it because a lot of times it can be so subtle to the
Yes.
point that you can get it mixed up with your own thinking process. But,
Wow.
and
Yes.
I guess that's where meditation comes in.
Yes.
Because when you relax, I see why they say meditate more. The more relaxed you are and you clear your mind,
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of discern what is coming from you and what's not. So when you're in
Yes.
that relaxed state, Tammy, it's like
Mm-hmm.
when your mind is clear and you actually listen to what message is coming to you, or what message, for me, is more seeing and feeling like an empath.
Yes.
It's like, oh no, that idea did not come from me. That came from a greater source. And it could have been something simple as simple advice that we know that didn't come from us, but at the same time, it was a positive message. It was nothing negative, and it was one that was sharp,
Mm-hmm.
and one that will guide you in the right direction.
So you
And so I see now why meditation comes in. Oops, sorry.
so you're more
Yeah.
clairvoyant and clairsentient, you would say?
Um, I'm being careful with person to say definitely clairvoyant, definitely an empath.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know the empath. I know empath, it deals with feeling people's emotions, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel that a lot. And the clairsentience, I think, and I'm still learning about it, that it's more like feeling um certain things, areas in the body,
Mm-hmm.
when somebody's like in a particular pain.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of it's human that people are quite had that along the way. But definitely with the impact, because you feel emotions,
Mm-hmm.
and like when you go, like for example, like at work, for example, I feel it a lot at work,
Yes.
because at work you feel everybody emotion, everybody bringing, they come to work, they bring in everything that is going on at home or any personal life. They bring to work. You basically
Mm-hmm.
are going to be playing. And so if you really want to experience empath, those people, go to your job and pay attention.
Right.
Because you be feeling that energy. Because not only it's work energy you be feeling when you feel that load over your shoulder,
Yes.
but it's the energy of your co-workers,
Yes.
which make you extra tired. If you ever heard of that saying, empaths get tired
Oh yes.
or emotionally
Exhausted,
drained.
drained.
So I would say, so I would say clairvoyant, empath, and also claircognizant,
Yes.
and recently clairaudience, because we talked about that a couple of
Yes. A
weeks
couple of weeks
ago.
ago, yes. So
We
now
even did an experiment on that one.
I was gonna say, so when did you realize that you had these gifts? Because just like you said, we all have them, but most people don't exercise them because they don't realize, and they don't, and depends on how you were raised, and all this kind of stuff. And so, and then TV also plays a part in it, because TV shows craziness. And so
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
because
people are looking at you like you're bewitched, or like just because you're clairvoyant or claircognizant, you're supposed to always just know everything, and that's not the case.
yeah,
So when did
because
you?
ever since everybody's seen the movie, I'm sorry, excuse me, because ever since people seen the movie with Whoopi Goldberg, I keep
Yeah.
calling her Whoopi, This is copyright, so I don't want Whoopi Goldberg to sue me.
No,
But
no, we don't need
ever
that.
don't need that. Whoopi Goldberg, when she did that movie called Ghost that came
Yes.
out in the early 90s, I know you
Mhm.
remember that movie.
Oh, yes.
She when everybody saw that movie, they got a taste of what mediumship and psychology was, right?
Right.
And when they saw the movie, the way it was presented, everything she seen, everything she saw was just 100% true. And I mean, a lot of times it is, but that's not exactly how it
No,
worked.
it's not
And
always the
so
case.
people got in their mindset, if you got that, you know everything. I
Yes.
can give you a lotto ticket and I'm sure to win. Because that's what most people be thinking.
Well, give me the lottery numbers.
Don't you hate when they ask that question?
Yeah. Or if you're in the middle of doing something and they'll say something like, well, you got the gift, so tell me, something about me or something like that. And you're like, yeah, no, it does not work that way.
Mm-mm.
But when did you first discover that this was a path that you wanted to go down? Like, I mean, did it just hit you like a bump in the night, or did you have a dream, or did somebody share with you, that, they saw these gifts in you? How did that happen for you?
Well, it was in 2003 when
Oh, wow.
that opened up. I wasn't sure that I had that at the time,
Mm-hmm.
but 2003, one of my cousins, she was in her 40s. Well, she just turned 40, and she passed away from um, leukemia,
Oh, wow.
and she was very young.
Yeah.
And then and when she passed away, usually when a person passed away, um, you know, it's sad and
Mm-hmm.
just like everybody else, I accept it as it is. But with her, for some reason, it just felt like she was still around. It was
Okay.
kind of odd.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see her walking around or nothing, but it just seemed like she was still, it's like her presence was still here.
Yes.
And I remember
Oh.
almost every night, even when, and I do think about her and I think about everybody, but I would have dreams about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coming in my dreams. And the dreams would be so vivid, so real,
Mm-hmm.
so in the now, if that's
Right.
the best way I can picture it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like how I'm talking to you now, it's like I would see her, like just how I'm looking at you. And, at the time when I had a dream, um, she wasn't dead. She didn't present herself as, I don't like using that word, but she didn't present herself as you know, in
Transition.
another dimension
Mm-hmm.
or, whatever the case would be. She was just like how she was when she was alive when I saw
Okay.
her. And it was just one of those. I remember one instant I had a dream about her. And
Let me
when I
stop you
woke,
right here.
hmm
Were you able to talk to somebody about that, or
hmm
okay, there was somebody you could talk to?
that's coming up too.
Okay, go ahead.
And so I remember waking up from my dream and getting on the phone about to call her.
Mm-hmm.
And I already woke up, walked to the kitchen, about to pull up. This was before I had a cell phone. So I had a house phone and I had like my book with a list of phone numbers in there. That sound like a long time, right? And so I was calling her up on the phone. And soon as the phone, I want to say the second ringtone, I hung that phone up real fast before one of my cousins, which is one of her kids or whoever, or her mom pick up and think I lost my mind. I'm just like, that's when I snapped out of it. I said to myself, is this dream that deep that I forgot she was passed away and
Mm-hmm.
and I pick up the phone to call her. To me, that was deep at that time.
That
And
is.
I said there must be more to this. And so after that, I went to the flea market because back then that's what I loved to do. Go to the flea
Yes,
market
the flea market.
and
Fire.
to buy incense, candles, you name it. Because, that was just my way of getting into my personal space.
Yes,
And so
and
I met this
relaxes you,
lady.
right?
Yeah.
Because
And
they
I
got
met this.
oils and incense and all the good stuff.
all anything that's Earth's center or center around the Earth. And I met this lady. Um, she was a white lady, and she was very cool. And she was telling me who was this, and it was funny because I was just hustling at that time because I was young. I was in high school, so I didn't have to worry about working a job because I was still living with my parents. But I was working at the flea market too. This on Saturdays part time to help this guy that was a Muslim out because he sell a lot of oils, and I used to get them for free because I worked with him. There was this
Yes.
lady that he was talking to that was a customer, and she looked at me and like she was just stunned, and she was just like, she said, "How are you?" You know, she introduced herself, and she was just like, she said, "There's more to you than what everybody see." And back then, I was looking at her like, "Who is this crazy woman?" And then she said, "Cause that's an odd question for somebody answer to get from somebody or
Right.
response." And then she was like, she said, "There's something that you project and that you want to say, but people are not listening, but I see it." And
Wow.
I'm thinking to myself, now who are you, a detective? And I thought she was the FBI. I'm like, what are you looking for? Who are you looking for? I could point in a direction for you. And she was just like, but she started going in detail. She didn't go deep, deep, deep or personal, but she went deep.
Mm-hmm.
And after she finished, she said, baby, I know you're confused, but I'm talking about the spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
She said, you don't know what gift you have and you're not using it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, I said, I think you have the gift because you the one that just told me everything about me. And I'm like, how do you know it? Are you an angel? I wasn't thinking the word psychic at that time because I was just in shock. I said, are you an angel
Mm-hmm.
or are you a God sent?
Right.
And she said, hey, whatever words you want to use, but you got the same gift and you should be pretty much doing the same thing I'm doing.
Boy,
She
she sound
said,
like me.
she did, and she hit the word straight. She said, let's just be real. You don't like being around too many people. And I got chills on my behind my neck. I'm like, how did she know that? She said, it's a reason why you feel like that. And it's okay. She said, you know, when you see someone that's about righteousness and you know, you could tell the difference from a righteous person from a liar.
Yes.
And I said, yeah, you're right. And she said, but you second guess yourself. She said, don't do that. And then after I met her and talked to her for about an hour, and the Muslim guy, he just over there grinning, rolling his eyes. And he was just like, I'm glad y'all finished talking because I need your help to help me make some more oils. And so I said, okay. But after I left and got off from doing that job, I went to the bookstore and I just started looking up books on um how to communicate with people that speak, you know, that passed on,
Mm-hmm.
or how to develop spiritual senses to know things.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know that was just that turning point. There got to be more
Yes.
to life that we're not tapping into, and I want to know about it. And
So that piqued
you
your
know,
curiosity.
yeah, that curiosity had kicked in for me.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I was still, you know, a church going person
Young.
at that time. And I was just like, oh God, I sure hope I don't go to hell for this, but it don't hurt to learn. It
You hope
don't
that
help
wasn't the
but
devil trying
learn.
to trick you, right?
Yeah. And I started reading the book and I started reading different books about, you know, different ways how we connect with God and how we in a lot of ways, religious institutions has blocked us. Not saying that nothing that there's not positive to it because it does have its good side.
Mm-hmm.
But then to come to find out, religion comes from westernized religion comes from spirituality, the old spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
which is intuition.
Yes.
Because all these people that were in the Bible had intuition.
Yes.
And what makes these people different than us? Because we're not supposed to worship Moses and all of them anyway.
Oh my God. That was a mouthful right there.
Yeah, we're not
You know?
supposed to worship them. We're supposed to be doing the same thing they're doing.
Right. Connecting
But you,
with spirit.
yeah, but you can't tell people that. And I understand because it been forced on people,
Yeah.
especially down south and
No
especially on
understanding for that.
blacks.
It's no
Hmm.
understanding for that. People just need to wake up and stop all that.
Yeah, they do. And kind of find out, Tammy, when I started reading all these different I mean, metaphysical books
Hmm.
about the chakras,
Hmm.
the aura,
Yeah.
and how to have self-control and visualization and manifest your stuff, whatever you want, which is a form of prayer, but I call it a visualized prayer.
That's right.
I said, you know what, this is more exciting to me. I can see the connection with this because I don't get me wrong, I still love church when I was growing up, but I wasn't feel like I was getting everything I needed. And so this resonated with me.
And you stepped
Oh
into
yeah, go ahead.
walking prayer.
Hmm.
You stepped into walking prayer.
Walk in prayer. There you go.
Yes. And that's is to me how I describe it is, the God of my own understanding and the God of your own understanding. And I describe
Hmm.
it as, because I tell people I'm still a God girl, but I believe in the bigness and the expansiveness of God, because God is so much bigger than people want you to know in the church a lot of times. So
Hmm. And a
God is
lot of
just
people don't know,
huge. Right.
and a lot of people don't know that God is a female too. You got the Father God and the Mother God.
Let's not even go there.
Yeah, have a fit, right?
Oh
They
my
be like,
God.
"What you said, boy?"
They'll be blocking me on Facebook and trying to figure out a way to sabotage my show.
They be like, they be like, "What you said now?"
And what you had that boy on there saying, what?
Yeah.
What? You didn't stop him? they'll be show 99 all over us.
They'll, they'll be the Facebook police.
They will trying to put my ass in jail. In Facebook jail.
You'll be surprised.
Oh Lord.
You know, I've been blocked so many times on Facebook. Remember that?
Yeah, you've been in jail more times than me, and I was feeling like they was spotlighting me at one time. Because every
They
time
put you in Facebook jail before?
I've been on Facebook jail a few times.
I didn't know
I
that.
don't even know what I did. Yeah,
And see, there you
how you
go.
find out? Well, back in the old days before whatever they're doing now, you found out when you tried to comment on somebody's stuff and they said your comment couldn't be posted. Like what? Say what? But yeah, I've been in Facebook jail a few times. I try to stay out of it. I try to do right.
Yeah, because they will punish you.
Well, I
When you
don't think
see a com when
they
you
didn't
see a
realize.
comment that you want to comment on, you can't because you in Facebook jail. That
Yeah,
sucks. You have to
no,
create another account.
I think only you do that, Mark.
Hmm.
Oh my God. Anyway, all right. So we are going to wrap this thing up because we've been on here, believe it or not, over 20 minutes. So
Had a good time. This
I
is
know.
fun.
You see what I'm saying? I love it. So how do you see yourself moving forward with your gifts?
You know what, Tammy? I want to help people. There's a lot of lost, sad people out there that's looking
Mhm.
for something,
Yeah.
whether it's outside of the church or institution that they're in, or
Mhm.
even people that may not believe in God. Like I want to be able to help people, and sometimes people get that lift off of their shoulder when they get that first reading, and especially if it's a positive reading
Yes.
that that's going to um help heal some wounds that they got going on.
Yes.
Sometimes they just need that extra. I think in 2020, I think intuitive reading is going to bypass people going to a therapist or psychiatrist
You know what?
because
I agree. because
Because it,
I have
mhm.
gotten more hits in 2020 than I got in the whole last couple of years, where people are reaching out and they want my angel intuitive with the affirmations, and and every time I do them, it's like they are super spot on, and people are like, oh my God, the affirmations are fire, or
Mhm.
meditation or something, because people are hurting, and especially in this time, because now we are in a revolution for one thing. The other thing, that COVID thing, is like insult to injury. It's like double on top of everything else that we're dealing with in this planet. And it's not only just in America, and that's the thing. They had a
Mhm.
revolution everywhere, because everywhere Black lives didn't matter.
Mhm.
You
Tell
know,
me
so
about it.
so I mean, it's time. I mean, we are in this place, but people need help, and they are recognizing that they need to talk to somebody that is gifted, for lack of a better word. Somebody that can help them in that way, because I'm finding a lot of that. And I have a lot of people reaching out to me about that. And I'm like, okay. And one girl, I canceled, shut off comments on this post because I already had way too many people, and I said I was only going to do 10 people, right? I think I had like 100 and some folks. So I shut off commenting, and she sent me a message in my inbox and said, I'm going through something, and I really,
Oh,
and I was like, oh my God. And that kind of stuff usually irritates the hell out of me. I do not like that. But I felt something in her, and I felt like she needed, just a little piece of peace. And I realized that,
yeah.
that's what I'm here for. That is my job. I mean, that's what I'm being called at this time in this place, to help people to get a little piece of peace.
And that's what people need is peace, because in westernized psychology and therapists is not helping no more. And I believe because they left out the spiritual, and
Yeah.
that's what people need.
Well, and you know how true that is, because when I was going through a situation, I went to find counseling, and to be honest with you, the girl that I saw, she brought in the spiritual with the counseling. We went to church together, but she brought in the spiritual with the counseling, and that's why it was so amazing. And that's why I felt like I got the help that I needed, because I was having anger issues that was not good for me. Wasn't good for me and wasn't good for other people. So I felt like when she brought in the spiritual as well as the counseling, because she was a counselor, she had a master's degree in counseling and all this. But when she brought all those, she married those two, that is what helped. And I believe that you're right. If they're not marrying those and bringing in the spirit, then it's not going to help people in the way that they need help at this time.
That's right. Because that's what the soul really is seeking, no matter what issues people going through in their life.
Yes.
Their soul is seeking out the spiritual,
Yeah.
and to bring that peace to heal whatever it is that's going on, whether it's a physical issue or a
Hmm.
mental issue, no
Yes.
matter what it is.
Yes.
Because spiritual have to be included, because it was spiritual before it was everything was physical. Spiritual creates physical. That's how I look at it.
And that's true. And that's,
And you can't
I
live
hear that.
without it.
Yes. Yes. All right, so we're going to close up here. Let the people know how they can get in touch with you if they would like to get either a psychic or a mediumship reading from you, or if they would like to get any type of spiritual mentorship, because I believe that's something that you are gifted to do as well. So let the people know how they can find you, and I also will put his details in the post when I post this, and when I uh, add it to the YouTube channel. I'll put his
Mhm.
details in there so that they can get a hold of you, after they watch this thing and see this fire interview that you just did. So how can the people get a hold of you, Mario?
Tammy is like my sister. Um, you can reach me on Facebook. That's the best place to catch me. Go to Mario Henley. Just type in Mario, last name Hendley,
Right?
and that would be so crazy if some family members message me, inbox me, like, I didn't know you was psychic. Can I get a reading?
It's gonna happen. It's
I
gonna happen.
pray to God. I pray to God they don't be my first client.
I was gonna say, but you know what's gonna happen? That's what I was gonna say. They're gonna be like on the slide. But can you give me a reading? Because that's what
I'm
happened
like,
the first time I did readings on my page. I had people
I'm
on
like,
there
you
that
got that
I went to church with, and I was like,
sneaking inbox you.
yeah, sneaking in, or either don't forgive me. Yeah, I want to read because I asked for permission or whatever, tell them to tell me
Yeah.
or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, I want to read, and it would be people I would never guess. The one shouting up in the front of the church. So you better be ready for that.
Oh, I would never be ready. I just have to go through it. But I can see family members inboxing me and past church members.
You know what they
You know,
say? We knew he had to give.
I'm be like, you got that card on you? Stop. I
That's
wouldn't do
right.
that on the
Put
first.
your PayPal link, your Cash App. Yeah, I got about 4 or 5 different ways people can pay me. PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Square. You can get money to me.
That's right. The
What's the other
preacher
one?
gets it. Why
Venmo,
not?
right? Somebody say you got
They
a Venmo.
they pay for the preacher service, so why not?
Exactly right. And when they have the prophets and the prophetesses that come to the church, don't they tell you come up and put your seed in your hand, go get your reading?
Yep. Pass that plate around.
Some of them have $100 lines and $1,000 lines, and I guess maybe you get a better reading for the $1,000 line. I don't know because I never did that one. But yeah, so you might as well, because it's time. The thing is your time and your energy is money.
That
And I
is,
believe you can
and
do
that's
it a whole
true.
lot better when you're being paid.
Yeah. Hey Tammy, I want to ask you real quick. Would you agree
Wait.
that
Go ahead.
hmm?
Go ahead.
Oh, would you agree that since you got in metaphysics just like me, that you feel like you're not only living but you're in your authentic self compared to like in the past when you was taught you have to be like this, you have to be like that. You just feel more freer.
Yes, because like you, I was raised in the
You
church.
don't feel like you're in bondage.
Exactly, because
Yeah, and it
sometimes
just made me
you
feel like I was in bondage.
felt like, man, I need to have a drink, but these people told me at this church
Or
I shouldn't
smoke a blunt.
right? Anything. It's like, okay, but I need to have a, I'm human. I need to relax, whatever. But yeah.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna close up here and definitely check Mario out. And
And we're gonna do
on
this again.
Facebook. Yes, we will. We're gonna do this again because the next time we do it, he's gonna have his platform all together because we've already discussed that. And because he is such an amazing, gifted psychic and medium. He's amazing. I absolutely recommend him highly. So, in any way, if you would like to reach out to him, Mario Hendley at Facebook. And are you on Instagram as well?
I am, but I hardly use it, but I need to get on it.
Yes, you do. So he's on Instagram as well. So you can reach out to him. And yeah, we're going to work it out. So thank you so much for watching and joining. And I hope you have a wonderful, amazing rest of your day, evening, whenever you catch this. Bye now.
You too. Much love to you, Tammy, and much love to everybody else.